Lifeways. The worldview of indigenous cultures addresses the very core of language utilization by an indigenous community. Lifeways is the understanding of where one comes from and toward which direction one is heading in future endeavors. LD demonstrates that an animate language will minimize indigenous identity confusion attributed to language loss. The theme of Lifeways promotes the knowledge that within a tribal community, the inherent quality contained in linguistic understanding are the notions of kinship, responsibility, sharing, and respect, which demonstrates order within tribal society. The theme of LD, which addresses Lifeways, stresses the utmost quality of indigenous life, relaying within the language of the tribal communities. The qualities of life contained within the communication of the tribe's language regarding lifeways are issues of proper behavior, which takes the form of politeness, honesty, and humility. And in itself, the Suzuki demonstrates and relays to the people what a journey one takes through life. And as you'll note, the Suzuki is a maze, language, or what is important to the Autumn people. And in doing so, we just laid it out in within the maze itself. It doesn't necessarily mean that the learning comes in the various phases as one makes the journey through the maze.
Today I was all ready to see if I would remember some of the words. I was happy to say I did remember some, not all, but some. So I know it can be done with using different ways of how to remember. I know there are ways to teach the children. I know with time, and if I heard it more, I would understand. So with that knowing what the children need to hear, I know whatever we know in our language, we should keep saying. Today in class, I feel a little stronger about learning. I remember a little bit more. I might not say it just right, but I know what it means.
One thing that needs to be stressed at the beginning of each lesson is to listen. That's what needs to be stressed to my kids is to listen. Today's lesson was really nice because we named our own family members. It takes time and patience to understand what you are trying to translate to us, but as the lesson goes on, it gets a little easier to comprehend.
On a particular level, having the students understand and know that traditional knowledge and understanding is contained within the words they are learning. Cultural etiquette, which is introducing oneself, greeting, and acknowledging community members.
So I put Tamayame language immersion, and I picked the top 4, which I thought bring everybody together to do the immersion. Culture values, I put beliefs, prayer, ceremonies, language, song, traditional attire. Without these, we don't have culture. So that's why I put these top 5. Tradition, we have to have our clans. That's very important to us. Of course, I put language again. Without language, we don't have any of these.
We began our first class in immersion today. I had to admit that I was very stressful because we did not ask questions or make any comments. We listened a lot. I noticed the pronunciations of the language is becoming easier for many of us. The format is becoming more organized and more fluent. Oh no, again more added. The animals stand, sit, laying down, plus the hogan and greeting. Phew! I felt what I imagined new learners feel, and it's good for me to be patient and understanding and to let them know I felt it too. It was easier to get into the circle of the home. I knew what to do until a new word was introduced. Home, family, and the representation of the symbolic colors to the person. Greeting was easy. It is helpful to listen to your words and watch your gestures. Sometimes it takes a while to connect the visuals to the word meanings.
The language is not just about the language itself, but also about the social of how a language is used in the community, such as greetings. We also had a discussion on how or if we sing to our babies or grandchildren. As for me, becoming a grandmother at age 40, I would put my grandbaby in her cradle and I put on the Apache songs and I would talk to her in Apache and the language would soothe her and she would go to sleep.
What I like best today is we do not have to have our animal picture with us. Good. I'm still trying to remember my name, animal name. I have to remember to say the sentence as one complete sentence and not introducing my name first. I use gesture to show what I want to say, what I am saying. Practice. I could think of my Navajo work more clearly, but get afraid when it is my time to say it. Sometime, when it is my turn, my word would be in the front of my mind. I see it, but cannot say it fast enough, and others would say it ahead of me, and I would say it.
So that's what I have down, and I look at this as a good model to teach language because you're meeting everybody's needs from the young ones to the old ones. And by learning all of these, they're eventually going to learn respect. They're going to learn their culture because they're doing all of this stuff with everybody. And as they learn their language, they're going to learn knowledge as they go through this. And hopefully we'll have the new speakers. Shuashi Ningla.
Hoyena, 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 hoyena. Oh, chip me, oh, chip me, oh, chip me, oh, chip me. Hoyena, 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 hoyena. Oh, chip me, oh, chip me, oh, chip me, oh, chip me.
Today, learning names of different animals. Mine was Kleicha. It was very hard for me to remember how to say it. And was let into the hogan and then greeted everyone in the hogan. We had to pick colors for the numbers of siblings. I had green for mother, yellow for myself, 2 pink for my sisters, and 1 blue for my brother.
It was really helpful to have the gestures. When one of us wasn't able to recall the word, we were able to remember the motion, so that way someone else who knew more than us was able to help out.
This was difficult at first, again because I needed to understand the concepts without understanding the language used to describe them. I did not feel alone, however, because as the days go by, I find that I am now part of a learning community. I know who to look for guidance because some come to understand faster than others. I also know who needs a little help and try to provide as much as I can. The immersion seemed to go quickly today. I'm finally saying the greeting with confidence and find myself saying it in my mind often throughout the day. It's hard not to compare myself with other members in the class, but I am. I think this goes with the fact that I can actually say some things correctly. I need to keep my ego in check and remember that learning is not a race or a contest, and that what I'm getting out of the process is for me alone.
Chiaj. 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 X. Gugusta could it. Mum kika. Mum kika.
Nahistan bisizin, Nahistan bekeshike, Nahistan bijajijad, Nahistan bidzil shitin, Nahistan began shigan, Nahistan benawulo shenawulo.
Ilan. 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 Awayam. Awayam. Awayam.
Oh.
No?
Le.
Oh. Hawaiian.
Awayam.
Hawaiian.
The language of indigenous lifeways is the knowledge and understanding that each being within creation, both human and non-human beings, have an ethical responsibility, a proper relational responsibility. Lifeways are the stories regarding the creation of the people, the knowledge of who they are, and the importance of one's responsibility within creation.
Nahistan bisizin, Nahistan bekeshike, Nahistan bijashijad.